time is now.
Real shorts.
On everything.
I need the number 2.
Took my heart away from money. I ain't interested in fame, and I pray that never change. Ambition is priceless. It's something that's in your veins, and I put that on my name.
The pain you feel in here, guys, it's temporary. My last rep, maybe 2 reps, a minute, maybe the entire hour and a half this workout's gonna last. As long as you continue to push through it, that pain will always be temporary. Pride will be forever. If you quit in this process, then that pain will last forever.
My ambition. Easy to dream a dream, though it's harder to live. They gon' love me for my ambition.
You can't half-ass it here and expect anything but a half-ass lunch out.
Though it's harder to live.
Wake up!
They gon' love me for my ambition. Easy to dream a dream, though it's harder to live. Look, they gon' love me for my ambition. Beautiful music, painting pictures, it be my vision. Look,
You paid your fucking due. You're that much closer to becoming that person you always knew you could be. I mean, isn't it about time you do that? Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be?
All right. So we just finished day 1, back in the gym, and I ain't gonna lie, it is so hard. Well, not really, honestly. I feel like everybody has like a mental check. Everybody got, just that mental check when you know it's time, right? It's like, all right, let me get my back in the gym. And today was that mental break for me. I said, yeah, it's time, and it's crazy because me being an athlete my whole life, playing basketball my whole life, it's kind of one of those things that, man, like getting back into the gym is like, at least for an athlete, I could speak, for myself and any athlete watching this. And it's like riding a bike. And it's kind of the same thing, like, let's say I haven't played basketball for a long time, and then I get back into it for the first day. That first day is just like, you're out of shape, you're huffing and puffing. Oh man, you're just like, why did I take this much time off? Cause now I feel like I can't do the things that I know in my mind I could do because I've done it before. But again, it's just like riding a bike, just like with anything, you gotta stay consistent at it, And man, today got a real good pump in, quick workout. I just told myself, like when I woke up today, I just told myself, I said, look, I'm going to the gym today. Like I don't matter the time. I was aiming to go early in the morning when I woke up. Things happened, so of course I had to go throughout the day, go through the work day, run a couple errands, do whatever I had to do. But again, I told myself, all right, regardless of that, it's Monday, we're gonna get back in the gym. And here we are. We finished day 1. Good little workout. But the reason I decided to get back into this, I mean, just like anything, getting fit and just being in the gym, they say health is wealth, right? Health is the real wealth. So I mean, I just got tired of feeling the way I felt. And I was listening every single time I'm in the gym. I don't really listen to music like that. I listen to straight either motivational podcasts, or I got my gym motivation. These are the type of things, it's like therapy to me. Like you got to remember what you put into your mind, what you hear, what you see, all these things are important. So what you feed your mind is also very important. And again, when I'm in the gym, I'm feeding myself positive affirmations from some of the highest people, again, in the world. These are people who are successful entrepreneurs, artists, I mean, you name them, anybody who I listen to, with the mixes that I have. And I actually drop them here in the description. So if you want some good, I'm talking about some good gym motivation, just look into the description. I'm gonna have the link for it. It's on SoundCloud. And man, I was just listening to it, and one of the things that he said, if you don't like what you see in the mirror, wake up and change them. Excuse my language. It's like, but it's so true. You know, sometimes you really got to look at yourself in the mirror and take accountability for how you look. And if you don't like what you see when you look in the mirror, you have the ability to change that. Is if you're willing to put the work in for it or not. And most people are just, honestly, they don't want to put the work in. I mean, we live in a generation that, you know, now we have so much different access to, you know, different type of surgeries and weight losses and all this good stuff. And, you know, for some cases, I get genetics does matter when it comes to like weight loss and things of that nature. But for the other aspect of things, people are just lazy and they just don't want to put the work. It's just as simple as that, you know? So for me, I'm just glad that I grew up as an athlete playing basketball, because getting back to the gym is always so therapeutic for me. And it's the beginning of my new season of how I'm like about to attack my regular life, my business life, you know? So that's why I'm like, you know what? Even though I'm gonna lift light. I'm just gonna do more repetitions so I can get that burn, just so that I can get back in that feeling of like just pushing myself mentally. Because remember, if your mind's weak, when the body starts getting tired or hurts, you know, you're gonna stop. It's easier to give up, you know, and just stop doing what you're doing, because your body's telling your mind. But obviously, as you keep, you know, progressing and keep working and you keep pushing yourself, you start training your mind, you know, to take over and control your body. You know, at the end of the day, you are the one that becomes in control. And when you become in control of your mind, that's when you tap into the power within yourself. You know, that's where, you know, the term powerful beyond measure really like it sparks up. And it's your obligation to then stay consistent and make a lifestyle out of this. And anything else that you do, you know, you have to make a lifestyle out of what you're doing. All right, so we're at the end of the week. I wanted to come back and think of how I started this blog. Remember on day one, I said that it was all about having that mental reset when you finally say like, it's time. So I said I wanted to hit the gym 5 days this week. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the reality is I only got in 3. And honestly, that's okay. Because when you're first starting out, you gotta remember that it's not about being perfect. It's really more so about building the momentum. Like, you gotta start building that momentum from scratch again. I still showed up, even coming off of a hand injury where I had to get 25 stitches. This was about a month ago. Even with a busy business schedule this week, we had a lot of catching up to do and just doing a lot of admin work and also getting ready for the IRS tax forum. And even when I didn't feel like it. And in reality, that's really what counts. When you don't feel like going to the gym, or even when you don't feel like doing the things that you know you're supposed to do and you still do them anyways, I'm telling you, that's when greatness happens, for real, for real. This week reminded me that progress is progress. The gym, business, life, it's about stacking small wins and holding yourself accountable and not making no excuses no matter the circumstances. So now that we're going into a new week, I feel like the momentum's already there. I'm starting to feel better. I'm sharper, and I'm carrying that energy into everything else that I'm doing. Family, business, life, and health, most importantly. Honestly, I would say that, you know, that's the only thing that I definitely want to focus on a little bit more this week is my health, eating a little bit better. I ate good this week, as you see, but I do want to start cleaning it up a little bit, because one of the things that I do know is when it comes to dieting, when it comes to losing weight, oh man, that diet is like the #1 thing, honestly, aside of putting in the work. Putting in the work is the easy part. Showing up and going to the gym is the easy part. It's that diet. So we're definitely gonna get it together this week. And that's what Beyond Taxes with Striver is really about. It's not just about work, it's about the lifestyle, discipline, and most importantly, the growth. So next week, we keep building. Let's go.